What is poppin'? This is Logan Murdock of the Ringer NBA live show. I am here with the curator of vibes, the former NBA player, the former Piedmont resident, the former amateur wrestler, the now media mogul, Raja Bell. What is poppin', bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I got my house shoes on. I'm chilling. It's like 11:50 East Coast. It's all good.
See, I'm on the best coast right now. You see what I'm saying? You got your little yellow sweater on and stuff. You know what I mean? You got the little vibes. You're rating it right now. You got the little columns in the back and stuff. I see you out here. You got the feng shui going on right now.
Yeah, you see.
Oh,
okay, boom. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it, bro. I see it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to show you that you out here doing a thing. You know what I mean? Out here living up to your name. We are here recording live. Tap in. Shout out to everybody in Twitter and YouTube land, all the Spotify world and everything like that. We are here after the Mavericks got blown out. That was pretty rough, bro. I don't even know the score right now. You said it was like 150 to 106. We stopped watching.
Right.
It was pretty bad. Have you ever gotten your ass kicked like this before?
No. I mean, well, yes, it happens, right? But
I'm not talking about in real life. I'm not talking about a fade. I'm talking about in a basketball game.
Both, yes. But not in a playoff game, right? Like that's kind of unique. I don't remember playing on a team that got rocked like this. Like 20 point, maybe 15, but this is a genuine 40 piece they got hung on them. Like I've never been a part of anything like that I can remember.
See, I know in the media how it is. We're laughing at you guys if y'all losing and stuff. We'll walk down to the down by the locker room and stuff. We're just talking about how trash you guys are right now. That's what we're doing in the media.
Pet peeve of mine,
outside of your
mind, by the way. Like you right before we came on, you said like these last 5 minutes were trash. Like they were my minutes, man.
No, don't disrespect yourself
for
like
that. 4 years when I came into the league, these were my minutes.
All right, so I'm laughing at the terrible basketball that we just saw for the last 6 minutes. Then we're going down. We're like, this team was done. What are you guys feeling like in the locker room when you get your ass kicked? How was that for you guys?
Yeah, that's a shitty feeling, man. The good news I could say about the bubble situation is you're not going to get you're not going to have to travel on the end of this, right? So there's no plane ride. Like you're not going to have to be stuck with everybody, like commiserating over that loss for much longer than, it takes to get your showers, have your coach address the team, and then get back to your hotel room. So that's helpful because the plane rides can get kind of.
But I'm talking about a normal circumstance. Are you paying attention to the coach? Are you even are you pissed? Are you looking at your phone? What are you doing?
You're high. Everybody's locked in because you're up against it now. You're down.
Okay.
You're down 2-3, and most coaches understand that like when you get beat like this, there's not a whole lot that can be said after the game. Like you're not going to stand up in front of me for 15 minutes because I am going to tune out. But I'll give you the 3 minutes to make your address and say what you got to say, and then we got to get out of there.
What's the phone situation like? Is there like hella text and stuff? Is like, what are you doing? Why y'all? I didn't know y'all was this bad. Hella. Here's my favorite one. Yeah. What happened? What happened? Is that when do those texts go in, and when are you looking at those?
No, they were coming in the whole game. Like as the game started and we were down on like a 26-4 run, those started coming in. So I've got to now go through the whole text string of like 40 texts asking basically what happened in a multitude of ways, right?
So who do you text back?
Oh, only family, like wife, mom, and dad, probably. Like you're keeping it close to the vest.
Ain't no partners getting text backs okay.
Nah. You can't get caught up in that, man. Because real talk, like LeBron is good about going into what he's called a 0 dark 30 or playoff mode, whatever. You got to block the noise out, man. To the best of your ability, you got to block it out.
So I mean, you got two phones, like one for the, you got two phones for the family, and then is it just one? Okay,
it's one phone, but you're just navigating through your through your calls, who you want to hit back and who you don't want to hit back. And let me segue real quick. Allow me to do this because I'm looking at my phone. You know who looks like they blocked the noise out?
Who's that?
And I think he blocked the noise out because he shut off the comments on his IG page and all of that, and he bounced back and had himself a really good game. That's your boy, Playoff P.
Oh, that was pretty good, man. You
like
should do
that,
this for a
right?
living. That was nice. So, okay,
Media
all right.
mogul.
Our media mogul. Paul George had 35 points, 3 boards, and 4 threes. He told you to put some respect on Palmdale. He told you to put some respect on his name. He said, I'm not here for this pandemic P. I'm not here for this PG 13% that y'all was talking about. How did you feel about him putting some respect on his name? Because he was trash, and we were putting dirt on his name on this Ringer NBA show that you can listen to every Monday only on Spotify. But what did you think about that response from Paul George?
No, listen. First of all, we weren't in the wrong for saying he wasn't he was not playing well. He wasn't holding up his end of the bargain. Like it was happening. It was playing out right in front of our eyes. But he did what I expected him to do, which was bounce back, come out clip loaded, really forcing the issue early to get buckets and try to find his rhythm. And it was cool that Doc supported him and was vocal about that. So was Kawhi. But that's what you have to do when your team needs you, dog. They don't have a shot at being the Clippers that people thought could win a championship if Paul George isn't contributing. It doesn't have to be the 30-some every night, but it's got to be upwards of 20, right?
Raja, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it a whole stack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it G real. I don't think he has earned the playoff P moniker back. I think he got P back. I think he just got the P back. Okay, cool. I don't think that playoff P means over years and years and years. And I think there was a stat that he hasn't even made it past the first round in like 4 years as a superstar.
I'm not mad at you for that.
I'm gonna say he's P. I'm gonna say Palmdale P because he put some respect on Palmdale. I'm gonna say that he played well.
All right.
start the game. He played, and what I liked about it was he wasn't settling to start the game. He missed some shots, but he was crashing boards. Yes. He was really active there. You could tell that really pissed him off those first few games, and he went out wild for these first games and did not play well even after the Instagram where he stuck his chest out. He still didn't play well. I'm happy he's Palmdale P to me right now.
Okay, well, Palmdale P did, and to your point, what I found to be the best recipe for like slump busting in my NBA career. Right now, clearly I wasn't scoring what he scores, but even when I couldn't make my normal, 10, 11, 12 points a game, I was off. If you just will kind of submit to the game and just play, every possession and rebound the ball and hustle your tail off and play great D and just don't trip out about the scoring or lack thereof. Like really buy into doing everything else in the game and get yourself in a real flow. It usually finds its way to come back. Like, the averages play themselves out. Percentages are what they are for a reason, right? So you just have to kind of let go of the fact that you're not scoring and do what you just talked about, like play ball, be aggressive.
You're not on social media, Raja Bell. I don't know if I'm going to change that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you are not at the moment on social media. And I don't remember you being on social media during your playing career. Mm-hmm. However, you have been around players with social media. How much do they pay attention to that on a day-to-day basis when you see them in the locker room? Do they care about that? How much are they looking at it? Because there's always the narrative of, I don't care about what Logan Murdock thinks. I don't care about what the media thinks about me. Yet I always see these players on their phones, and then they're the first ones to tell me when I didn't write something correct. Yeah. From a player's perspective, how much do y'all pay attention to us?
Enough. Now I'm older school, so like the era I came up in, like cats weren't on their phone. We didn't have social media. Some of my vets didn't even know what social media was. That younger generation that was coming in as I finished up, yeah, they're very aware of what's going on on their social media accounts and what Logan Murdock or myself might be saying at this point. I mean, it's just the way of the world, right? Like I got kids that are 12 and 13 years old, and they know more about social media than I do. They're just locked in.
Do you think, what about when you were an executive, right? When you were in the front office, right. How do you tell these young guys, you were in Cleveland, how do you tell these young guys, like Kyrie when you were there, or Deion Waiters when you were there, you'll stay off of this, or this is what you need to look for? Did you have any times where you had to just be like, little homie, chill?
No, not on social media. Okay. We've had conversations, there are different conversations that you got to have regarding like, what people are getting into and the timeliness of that, but not social media, man. Most guys have a pretty good grasp of like time and place with social media. I always think less is more. I know you're building a brand and everyone's out there kind of trying to create their own, but you got to be careful on social media. So I've always advised, whenever asked by players, less is more kind of on social media.
All right, let's transition into something that you are well versed in.
Mm-hmm.
It's called beef. We saw a little bit of that. We saw a little bit of that in this game. It started when Marcus Morris. I don't know his intent, but it looked. I don't know. I can't speak for the man, but it looked like he might have kind of like maybe intentionally stepped on Luka Doncic's injured ankle. He did the thing where he was like, "Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Come here." You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to do that, but it looked like he may have stepped on it intentionally. And then on the next possession, Tim Hardaway, the Mavericks, winds up on Paul George, gets ball, but also gets a whole bunch of face.
A lot of face.
We've both been around the league. We both know the code. When somebody comes at you or comes at your teammate, what you got to do.
Yes.
Was that fair game with what Hardaway did?
I appreciate his willingness to step up to bat for a teammate. Every player like Luka needs somebody that has his back. Like, you need a Kendrick Perkins on the squad. You got to have somebody there.
Someone that's not like necessarily a star.
Correct. Someone there to hold that down. I'm going to check in the game just to get this foul, and then we can get him out.
Right.
My only problem with Tim was, and it's really not a problem, but like, go ahead and get Morris. Like, don't like, Palmdale P wasn't even really involved in that, right? So if we're gonna handle that business for Luka, then it's got to be the appropriate like perpetrator of the crime, and that wasn't the case. So that was my only beef with it. But I kind of like the Mavs, who even I question maybe a little bit of their toughness and stuff like that. I like you standing up. You got to stand up.
Wait, so for the record, you think that Marcus Morris stepped on his ankle?
I think that it was inadvertent. Look,
wait. What did you say, sir? What did you say, sir?
I thought it was inadvertent. I thought it.
So you didn't think it was intentional?
I did not think it was intentional. It was too. Look, I've seen Marcus Morris bug out, like when he hit what's the boy's name in the head with the ball? Like he what's the cat's name? Justin Anderson, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of tapped him on the head with the ball, but this particular play, like, there's nothing else going on around you. Like, Luka's about to be the primary ball handler. Everybody else is in the front court. Why would you choose that wide open space with every camera lens in the world on you to try to step on that man's bad ankle? Like, I don't buy that.
I feel like you can tell a lot about a team by the response that they give after there's funk with somebody. You know what I mean? If I'm not talking about the players that are on the floor, off the floor, and we can get to that in a second because something just came up to mind that I need to ask you about.
All right, about that.
But I feel like you can tell a lot about a team by who's ready for the smoke on the floor. Do you approve of the smoke that was happening on the floor in response to all this beef going on?
What smoke? What are you like? What you
when someone goes at your star player, the other dudes come and protect them. Was that an A+, or what grade would you give for sticking up for a teammate?
Yeah, I thought that was with what you can get away with now in the NBA.
Right.
Like, I thought it was a solid A. Like, Clippers were outraged. You're not going to get away with a lot of. Well, you talking about what happened to Luka, or you talking about what happened to Paul?
Let's do it two separate instances, bro.
So I give what happened to Luka, and I think most Mavericks thought, kind of like I did, that did it. You couldn't tell whether that was on purpose or not. So having said that, I'd probably still give it an A because maybe, Timmy came down and did what he had to do.
For sure.
Quick Tim Jr. story. Let me sidebar real quick. We're playing in a gym down here in Miami High, hot gym. Tim Jr. is probably about 9 years old.
Okay.
Tim Sr. is locking horns with me that day, right? And he's a little older, but we're getting after it.
Okay.
They beat us. So a ball comes down out of the net, and I catch it on a volley, and I kick the shit out of it. And it goes screaming and hits Tim Sr. in the face. Like, I'm like, oh, God dang, I got to fight.
That's right before you got to fight. Like,
I got to fight him now. Yeah, I didn't mean to, but I got to fight him. And Tim was cool as a fan. But from behind, I feel like these little like fists beating me in the back, and I turned around and it was Junior like beating the hell out of my back.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that he got down for Luka today.
This is Tim Hardaway Jr. and Senior, by the way.
Junior and Senior, yes. And And then from the Clippers standpoint, like I think
what a G. I don't have kids, but I hope if I have a son that he just does that for me, just rides for me like that.
absolutely.
Ain't gonna hurt you. You know, he's a 9-year-old, ain't gonna hurt the person, but I need him to ride.
Yeah, not my dad. You ain't gonna get down on my dad like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool.
It's okay. Okay.
It was cool.
And the quick tangent aside, though,
Mm-hmm.
you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were a part of a brawl that kind of changed all this shit. That changed all of this.
Yeah.
In the 2007 playoffs against the Spurs.
Some bullshit.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that story and your involvement and what you thought about that whole shebang.
Well, it was, first of all, I didn't know this at the time, but when Robert Horry checked Steve Nash into the scores table, Steve was selling a call there, right? So I just saw it out of the corner of my eye and thought like he had really got checked hella hard into the scores table. So I ran over. It wasn't the greatest move because then 2 more people ran over. Then, if you know Boris Diaw, right? Like I always tell this story. Boris Diaw would be more likely to run on that court to protect Tony Parker than he would be to run out there and fight Tony Parker. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're that tight. So that was just ridiculous that the league took that stance. And Amari took like 2 steps on and then got back across the line. So for them to suspend those 2 dudes in a series, I think that like the NBA deserved to see that year. I thought it was in pretty poor taste. But like, dog, like I was saying before, when, Sean, before we came on, was asking like, would Marcus get suspended for stepping on? Like the league's going to do what the league wants to do. They suspended me for a play where like I fell down and my legs kind of went up and Andre Bargnani was standing over me. Like he got called for offensive foul and on film, they thought I kicked him in the balls. And Andrea was like, no, he didn't do that. Yeah. And they suspended me because they couldn't be sure that I didn't intentionally try to do it. And then on the flip side, like Bruce Bowen kicks Amari Stoudemire, like kicks his leg out from behind him in the game, and they don't suspend him because they can't be sure he did it on purpose. So they're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah. Shout out Sean, you, our video producer, who may or may not be on a future segment of Pour Out Some Liquor with us on the Ringer NBA show on Monday. Got to get that plug in. I want to quickly pivot to this. Paul George said, quote, "The bubble got the best of me. I was in a dark place. I really wasn't here. I checked out."
Word?
This is right after this game right now. This is right after. This is your second best player on the team.
That's not
quick reaction, Raja Bell. Wait, before we get to quick reaction, Raja Bell, I'm going to say how I feel about this.
Go ahead, please.
This is your second best player on the team, a championship contending team. This is only the first round in a series that you were favored in, and you're already checked out, at least for a stretch that you just admitted. That can't happen, bro. That can't happen. Or if it does happen, you cannot admit it, in my opinion. What do you think about this? Because I'm just now getting this, and I'm trying to figure this out while you're here. I'm kind of flabbergasted.
Yeah, Roger. Look, I couldn't have said that much better myself. Today's athlete, and as media members and fans, like we want honesty, right? Like we want you to bare your soul.
We do want you to be candid. Yes, that's true.
Keep that shit to yourself, bro. Nobody wants to hear that Paul Pierce, the second highest. I mean, Paul, I said it. I did it again. I did it on Monday. Nobody wants to hear Paul George is checked out. He's the second best player on the team, dog, second highest player. No one wants to hear that. Like that, dog, like, again, we want to hear your candid vulnerability. Everyone wants to know that. Keep that shit to yourself.
I will say this, though, and it just came to mind. We don't know also what he's going through.
We
don't also know what he's going through. We don't know the mental side of this, Raja. We don't know.
To yourself. You can have it. Like you said it yourself. Like, dog, you could be in a dark place. Like you can have personal stuff going on, and all of those would be very valid reasons for you to not be producing. Like you're a human being. I'm saying keep it to yourself. Don't nobody want to hear it.
So what if he says it to you though? Like what if he's like, man, I just checked out. Like you're his teammate. What if he says that to you?
Oh, listen, then let's grab a bite. Let's crack a bottle. Like, let's talk it out. Let's try to get you to a healthy place.
Because also mental health is, it's a thing in this game. You know, somebody like Kevin Love, who you've been around, has done that. DeMar DeRozan, guys like that. It is something to the psyche, especially in a global pandemic. I just came to mind. I'm just like, damn, you right? You know what I mean?
Time and place, though, bro. Like I have no like DeMar DeRozan, Kev, super brave, man. Like braver than me. Like kudos to you. Like. For being strong enough, one, to navigate it, and then being strong enough two to come out and bare your soul about it. I'm just saying, like, as an excuse after the game, still in the middle of the competition, like you don't. If in fact it is, you don't want to be given.
Is that what you tell him? Is that what you tell him as your teammate? You're right next to him. You know, we have to scrum around him, and you're right next. You're like, hey, that's what. Are you behind us? Like,
no, not right now, bro.
Did this game, because you know how I've been very bullish on the Clippers. You know how I feel about the Clippers right now. I think that this game showed me something a little bit more heart. This was the game that I've been trying to get out of the Clippers. Just something like, show me, man. Like, I need you to, like, they've been talking about sticking their chest out. They did the thing at Summer League with Pat Bev, and they're walking in front of LeBron. They're like, this is our town. We run LA our way. But they carry themselves like a team that's been there before, but in a bad way, right? In a way that, like, we've won 3-4 champions. We can afford, we're good. This was the first game where I kind of saw them just be like, okay, y'all got us messed up. We're going to make a statement.
Yeah.
Happy to see that from them. Does this mean anything, though? Does this mean anything?
Yeah, it means exactly what tonight was. You're winning 3-2, and then that's a wrap. Like you have to double down on that, right? Like you're looking for consistent effort. These are best of 7 game series, bro. So if you're going to show up, as great as you are as a team, when you have it, if you're only going to have it 1 or 2 nights in a series, then it really doesn't mean anything. Now, if they can figure out a way to start stringing them together like that, Logan, then, we're talking about a different animal. But like you're Lakers, right? Like, let me ask you the question. I know we're not talking about the Lakers, but like
you just did a good job. Good job. Great segue.
Bet that. So like, who do you feel more secure in like they've got it figured out and they've got it rolling?
Lakers. The Lakers. I mean, also, they have they just have a lot going for them right now. And I just feel like they figured it out before the Clippers right now.
Yeah.
But I'm convinced that we're going to get this Western Conference Finals now. I just see that that's happening. I had a little bit of doubt after game 4. I had a little bit of doubt, after Luka beat them without KP, without all these things happening. But now I feel like everything's about to go as planned. Sorry, Sean, who is a Houston Rockets fan. I apologize, bro, but it is what it is. I think that we're still going to be set up for a conference finals.
Well, you'll be right if and the Clippers don't even have to do what they did tonight. Tonight was like their A+ effort, man. You had like everybody cooking, but that energy that you saw, man, like they kept panning to their bench, like how fired up the bench was, and you could feel them just contesting everything. They were running people off of every look, making. Putting the hand up, just making it just a little bit more uncomfortable than you wanted it to be as a shooter. And that effort, if they're going to keep showing up with that, you're going to get them in the Lakers. And that effort, like if they're playing like that, you'll get a good series out of them in the Lakers.
Are they locked in now? Are the Clippers locked in now?
I don't know, because all year long you would have thought they'd have been locked in, and they weren't locked in, right? Like they were.
They're only locked in against the Lakers. That's the only time that they're locked in. Now they need to get there first, and I believe that they're going to get there. But come on.
Well, it may not even matter, right? Because if you have a banged up Luka, you don't have Kristaps. The Mavs have been a good story, but the reality is, like, if Kristaps don't play, Luka has to score 40 plus, and he's just not going to be able to do that on the leg. They were trapping him tonight, getting the ball out of his hands. They're not. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't imagine Doc's just going to watch Luka score 40 for the rest of the series. So I think it's probably a wrap.
Yeah. Okay. So we got some YouTube comments. One from Matt Skizzy, who says, "Is that Logan Murdock or Gerald Henderson?" Gerald Henderson.
He was my rook, bro. Yes, sir.
Was he at it?
Yes, sir.
Word.
Yeah.
How was that? Was he cool? Was he?
No, he was cool. Yeah, he was cool. Right. I got traded halfway through that season. So.
Another YouTube comment: is that Raja Bell or skinny Jared Dudley? Yes.
Okay.
Let's switch gears, man. We got to we saw another great game. Jazz Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Nuggets responded, bro. They won 117-107 to stave off elimination. Such a cliche line, but they staved off elimination.
They did stave it.
Going into a game 6, Jamal Murray balled, 42 points, 8 rebounds.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go full cliche right now. Outdueling Donovan Mitchell, who had 30 points and 5 rebounds.
Yeah. Look, that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I look like you muted yourself for a second.
No. I'm here.
Oh.
I see both of these guys are just coming into their own. It reminded me of what were you going to say? I think you had something to say. What's up with
I was going to ask you who, like, of the two of those, right? Because I think their trajectory kind of same kind of trajectory, right? I don't know their ages, but like.
I would say same trajectory. I would put Donovan over him right now. Donovan is definitely in the. Yeah, he was in a rookie year conversation. I'm putting Donovan ahead of Jamal right now.
Okay.
You know, he has playoffs. I mean, they both have playoff success. I'm still putting Donovan on there right now.
I got you.
I think that especially what Donovan has done in the bubble as well. I think Donovan, we've talked about this in past shows, is one of the unsung stars in this game right now. One thing that I did want to pick your brain about though is Kenny Smith said on the Turner broadcast, he said this about all young players, is that they had this off season within the season, these 3 months off to get better, and they're taking these leaps. I think I've seen that with Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, also Luka Doncic. Have you seen that though? Like, have you? Is that something that you've seen, during this bubble?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't listen. Okay. I know, but like real talk. Like I could see like your role guy that's a young player coming in and looking a lot sharper in his defined role. But like those guys, I always felt like Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, like Luka, they might have gotten better at something, but I don't know if they got appreciably better. Those cats will drop 50 on you like on any given night. So
but it's about consistency though, Raja.
Yeah, but like you saw Luka tonight, like it wasn't,
okay.
Hey, I know he's injured and everything like that, but like it wasn't the Luka that we were crowning like the face of the NBA 2 nights ago. So, you can make a case for that. And it is rare that you get, that type of time off in the middle of a season. It gives you great opportunity to kind of go back and say, all right, this is the way people were playing me. This is where I struggled within this offense. Like for us to be a better team, this is where I got to get better in this offense and really attack that. And I'm sure guys did that. So that probably is why we're seeing such a great offensive display, like in the bubble. You know what I mean?
Roger, you almost crushed the topic and then you brought it back. So I can only respect it. You were like stepping on the topic like, Logan, you're stupid. What are you talking about? And then you brought it back.
Yeah.
So I can respect that.
I'm not into crushing dreams, bro. I don't like
you almost did though. You already crushed my dream a long time ago. You guys can go to the past episodes and check that out. But I want to talk about shooting in the bubble though. And I think that's an interesting topic. I want to shout out TD for our producer for bringing this up. When we've seen in this bubble, it's there's no fans. It's kind of like a controlled scrimmage with a lot of people, right? A controlled scrimmage with stakes.
Yep.
And with that, shooting has gotten a lot better, at least from my vantage point. What do you think that is? I think because, we've seen loud arenas. We've seen how an arena and fans can affect how a role player and even superstars shoot. Do you think that is nullified by no fans? Well, excuse me, Lil Wayne is in the bubble sometimes. Steph was sometimes in the bubble, like virtually and stuff. But in the bubble, do you think that is affected at all?
I think it's definitely affected, or hasn't affected that many people, right? Like the distraction of the fans and the shit going on you in the arena isn't there anymore. Most guys, like, once you've been in the league for a few years, that all becomes kind of white noise to you anyway. Like it shouldn't really bother you. But the reality is, like, you are human and there's a lot of shit going on. There are people to look at. There's, sights. There's all kinds of stuff.
What's the wildest shit somebody's told you from a fan?
What is the wildest? Oh, man. So I don't know.
Come on.
No, I really don't,
bro.
It all runs. First of all, you put me on the spot with that. Like I'd have to get into like some real depth of thought for that one. What is the wildest thing?
You're doing the thing where you're like, man, I blocked out all the noise.
I blocked out a lot of noise. I was good at that. LA was always wild because people told me they were going to kill me. Like
in Los Angeles?
Yeah, like people. Okay, the wildest thing probably happened on like Rodeo. We were at the Wilshire. We were there for Christmas, and I had my wife, my parents with me. We were walking down the street, and somebody yelled at me and called me like a BAMF or like rolling down the street. Now it wasn't like a wild out of pocket thing to say. Like
that's not a wild out of pocket thing to say in front of your wife and during.
But that's the thing, in front of my wife during Christmas, like Christmas, the day before Christmas, it was kind of wild.
Okay, all right. I meant in the arena, but like that was wild too. Do you think in this bubble though?
Right.
Do you think that you would have shot better with this, or do you think it might have threw you off?
I think I would have shot better. Look, first of all, I know that venue, man. Like my kids play in that Orlando Wide World of Sports all the time, like AAU tournaments. Mm-hmm. And like when you hear guys talk about shooters, like gyms and stuff like that, rims have a feel, man. Some real rims are tight. Like when you touch that rim up, that ball is always some are like nice long like shooting nets where they, and then others are kind of.
I didn't like those.
Right, but so it's all personal preference. And then the other thing are like. The one thing that I found to throw me off in different arenas, and this was way, way back when I first came in the league, were the cavernous buildings like the old Alamo Dome. Mm-hmm. When that depth perception started to kick in, right? Like the Carrier Dome when we play in there, like those things used to jack me up. So the NBA's done a good job of creating a small, good depth perception, like with the screens behind the stuff. And then, it looks like they got some soft rims, man. And then you subtract the sound and all of the rest of the craziness going on.
That's when I feel like anything can happen. They're basically on a sound stage. But all right, let's end on this, man. Giannis just won Defensive Player of the Year award. Now he has a chance to be the first player since Hakeem Olajuwon in 1994 to sweep the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards. And our producer TD made sure of this. You saw this in the pre-show meeting. That would mean the last two people to sweep, if Giannis does this, will be Nigerian. Shout out to all the Nigerian homies. Shout out if that happens.
No doubt.
Also, another person that did this, there's only 3 people that have done this if Giannis does it. Michael Jordan also swept it. He did not win a title. He did that in 88, though. He swept and had MVP and Defensive Player of the Year award. Do you think Giannis can sweep?
Yeah, I picked Milwaukee. I don't like the way they're playing in the bubble, though, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't like what I've seen out of them. The NBA clearly doesn't like what they've seen out of them because they give them some shitty slots, like to watch their games, bro. It's pretty bad.
They would be on NBA TV under normal circumstances. Right?
Yeah, right. But no, I don't. I'm changing. Like, I don't think he will. And he's my favorite player. Like we did this segment about picking like somebody to start your franchise. Like I'm picking Giannis, but
so you don't think he's gonna get the MVP?
I'm sorry, no. Wait, I thought you meant win the championship.
No. It's the sweep, the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, he's a lot.
Okay. I was like, okay, all right, bet. Because that was the question.
No, he's a lot.
I don't know if he should have gotten Defensive Player of the Year award.
Who would have got that?
There's a man by the name of Anthony Davis.
Stop.
There's a man by the name of Anthony Davis who balled out defensively and carried the Lakers defense, sir. Go ahead and state your case, sir. Go ahead. All right. I feel like you want to fade right now. I don't want to do this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's really late, right? Like just way past my bedtime.
You over here like Steve, like you're cranky right now. All right.
No, he had a great defensive year, man. But that's the best defensive team in the league, and he was the best defender on the best defensive team in the league. I feel like. I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong for feeling like that?
Agree to disagree.
Look, the Lakers were the second best defensive team in the league, right?
Fair enough.
I'm just okay. My bad.
Fair enough. All right, man. Let's wrap on that. Be sure to watch the Monday edition of the Ringer NBA show with myself, Logan Murdock, and Raja Bell. Look at our podcast on Spotify and wherever else you get podcasts. We're here every Monday. Be sure to tune in on the Ringer NBA show. Be sure to tune into all our Ringer podcasts, all of them worldwide, wherever you consume podcasts. And we'll see you next time. What's up?
Did we get our name yet, though, bro? Like, have we figured that out?
Also, we have not. That's thank you.
Yes.
Good job with this. That's the third time you've had a great segue. All right. We also need some help from you guys. We need a name. We have a list of names that we will put on the Twitter sphere for you to pick. Also, if you guys want to choose a name for us and we like it, we might pick that too. So tap in. I think that I have Twitter. So Roger does not have social media. He'll probably be doing calls and stuff. He'll probably be knocking on doors or something like that. I don't know what he's going to do to try to crowdsource for names, but we're going to figure this out. So help us get a name and tap into the Ringer NBA show. This has been the Ringer NBA show live after dark. Tap in. We'll see you next time.